Hello my dear friends, welcome to my channel that is Learning and Programming with Chip. Friends, in our previous video, we have discussed about abstraction and abstract classes in Java programming language. Now in this particular video, we will be discussing about interfaces in Java. Let us first discuss that when we can use interfaces. So when we are just having requirement specifications and we don't know anything about the implementation, then in that case we use interface. Interface is used to achieve full abstraction, which means that interface only contains abstract methods, and it is also used to achieve multiple inheritance in Java programming language. In our previous videos, we have discussed that Java does not support multiple inheritance, and that is because of the ambiguity which gets created when a class extends multiple classes. But we can achieve multiple inheritance by using interfaces. In later part of our video, we will see that how we can achieve multiple inheritance by using interfaces. Our interface consists of public, static, final fields, which means that all the instance variables which are present inside our interface is public, static, and final. And all the methods which are present inside our interface is by default public and abstract. Interface is also used to represent is a relationship or inheritance in Java programming language. Now let us discuss about our next point, that is we cannot instantiate interface, which means that we cannot create an object of interfaces. In our abstract class tutorial, we have discussed that we can have constructors inside our abstract classes, but we cannot create constructors inside our interfaces. Now let us move on to our next point, that is any class which is implementing our interface must provide the implementation of all the abstract methods which we have declared inside our interface. Now let us see the relationship between classes and interfaces in Java programming language. So when we have to use the properties of our superclass in our child class, then in that case child class should extend the parent class. And similar is the case in case of interface. That is, when one interface tries to acquire the properties of another interface, then in that case the child interface should extend the parent interface. But in case when a class tries to implement the properties which is defined inside interface, then in that case the class should implement the interface. So this is about the relationship between classes and interface in Java programming language. Friends, now we will discuss about the practical implementation of interfaces in Java programming language. But before moving further, let me first tell you about the features which are recently added in latest versions of Java. So from Java 8 we can have default methods and static methods inside interfaces. And from Java 9 version we can have private methods inside interface. In our program you will see about all the features which we have discussed about interfaces. Friends, earlier I was having Eclipse Indigo version, but that version was not supporting Java 8 features, so I have recently downloaded Luna version of Eclipse. So friends, here you can see that I have created an interface with the name shape. So we can declare any interface in Java programming language by the help of interface keyword. So for declaring any class we use class keyword, and for declaring any interface we use interface keyword. So this is the modifier of my interface, and this is the interface keyword, and this shape is the name of our interface. And I have already told you that our interface contains public, static, final fields and public abstract methods. So here you can see that I have created one field with the name pi, and it is of float type, and we have assigned a fixed value to our instance variable pi. So when we will compile our interface, then our compiler will internally add public, static, final to the fields which we will declare inside our interface. And these are the abstract methods which I have defined inside our interface with the name area and print area. So when we will compile our interface, then our compiler will internally convert it into public, abstract, float and the name of our method, that is area. And similarly it will add public abstract before the declaration of our print area method. And friends, as I have told you that from Java 8 version we can have default and static methods inside our interface. So here you can see that I have created a default method by using a keyword default. So we can define default method inside our interface to provide the default implementation, and we can also override these methods inside our child classes if we are not satisfied with the default implementation provided inside our interface. And here you can see that we can also have static methods inside our interface. So we can create static methods inside our interface to define the utility methods. And friends, from our Java 9 version, we can also have private methods inside our interface. So here you can see that I have created one method, and this method is private in nature, and currently I have commented this method because currently I'm using Java 8 version in my machine. But when we will download Java 9 version, then in that case we will not get any error, and we can create private methods inside our interface to define common properties for our non-abstract methods. And I have also created one more interface with the name features, and inside our interface I have created three abstract methods with the name color, shape name and area. Friends, now let us discuss that how we can implement interface in Java programming language. So I have created three classes with the name rectangle, square and circle. So here you can see that this is our circle class, and this circle class is implementing our shape interface by using implements keyword. So we can implement any interface in our class by using implements keyword. And this is the radius field which I have defined inside our circle class, and this is the parameterized constructor of our circle class, and inside our parameterized constructor I am assigning the value to our radius field. And friends, as I have already told you that whenever any class implements interface, then in that case a class should provide the implementation of all the methods which we have defined inside our interface. So in our interface we have created two methods with the name area and print area. So in our circle class you can see that I have provided the implementation of area method and print area method. Let me comment these statements. So friends, here you can see that we are getting compile time error, and it is saying that our circle class must implement the inherited abstract method, that is shape.area. So whenever we implement any interface, then it is mandatory to provide the implementation of abstract methods. And inside our area method we are calculating the area of circle, that is pi into radius. And here you can see that I am accessing the value of our constant by using class name dot field name. And inside our print area method I am printing the area of our circle. Similarly, our square class is implementing our shape interface, and inside our square class I have created a private field with the name side, and this is our parameterized constructor. And here you can see that I have provided an implementation of our abstract methods, that is area and print area. And this is our rectangle class, and our rectangle class is implementing shape interface and features interface. So friends, I have already told you that we can use interface to achieve multiple inheritance in Java programming language. So here you can see that our rectangle class is implementing two interfaces, that is shape and features interface. So we can achieve multiple inheritance by using interfaces. Inside our rectangle class I have created two fields with the name length and height, and inside our parameterized constructor I am setting the value of our length field and height field. And here I am providing the implementation of our area abstract method and print area abstract method. And friends, in our features.java class we have provided three methods, that is color, shape name and area. So in our rectangle class I have provided the implementation of our color method, which is returning the value as blue, and this is the implementation which I have provided for our shape name method, and it is returning the value as rectangle. And friends, here I have created one more class with the name test interface, and inside our test class I have created one main method, and by using this main method we will try to understand various concepts of interfaces. So in this statement I have created a reference variable of our shape interface, and in this statement we are using our shape reference to hold an object of our rectangle class, and these are the values which I am passing for our parameterized constructor which is present inside our rectangle class. And here by using our shape reference variable I am calling our print area abstract method, and here in this statement I am calling our default method which we have defined inside our shape interface, and here in this statement I am calling our static method by directly using the name of our interface, that is shape.method name. And friends, in these statements I am using our shape reference variable to hold an object of our square class, and here I am calling our abstract method, that is print area. And in this statement I am creating an object of our circle class, and here I am calling our print area abstract method whose implementation we have provided inside our circle class. Now friends, let us run our program. In our console, you can see that we are getting an area of a rectangle and its value is coming as 8, and we are getting this value because in a parameterized constructor we have passed its value as 2 and 4, and here we are calling our print area method. So it will call the method which is present inside our rectangle class. So here you can see that we are printing an area of a rectangle and its value is coming as the multiplication of length into height. That is why we are getting this value as 8. And here I have called a default method. That is why we are getting this value in our console, and in our next statement we have called our static method. That is why we are getting this value in our console. And similarly here I am calling the print area method of our square class. That is why you can see that in our console we are getting the area of square and its value is coming as 4. And similarly here we have created an object of our circle class, and here I have called a print area method whose implementation which we have provided inside our circle class. That is why in our console we are getting this value as area of circle and its value is calculated in our area method. So friends, I hope that you are able to understand all the features related to interfaces in Java programming language. Now let us discuss about some of the important questions and answers related to interfaces. So our first question is, how can we achieve multiple inheritance in Java? So friends, this we have already discussed that we can achieve multiple inheritance in Java by using interfaces. So a class can implement multiple interfaces. That's what we have discussed in our rectangle class. So here in this statement you can see that a rectangle class is implementing two interfaces, that is shape interface and features interface. Similarly, our interface can extend multiple interfaces by using extends keyword. Now let us discuss about our second question, that is why Java allow multiple inheritance with interfaces. So friends, when we were trying to implement multiple inheritance with classes, then in that case it was creating an ambiguous situation. But in case of interfaces, no such ambiguous situation occurs because we provide the implementation of the abstract method inside our class. So here in a rectangle class you can see that it is implementing two classes, shape and features, and inside our shape class we are having the method with the name area, and similar method we have defined inside our features class, that is area method. And in a rectangle class we are providing the implementation of an abstract method, that is area, and it is not creating any ambiguous situation. That is the reason Java allow multiple inheritance with interfaces. Friends, now our next question is, what is marker interfaces in Java programming language? So my dear friends, marker interfaces are those interfaces which don't have any data members and methods. So here you can see that I have created one interface with the name alert, and this interface is not having any data members and methods. That is why this interface is known as marker interface. And why we need marker interface in Java programming language? This is because marker interface provide useful information to JVM so that JVM can take the necessary action. And friends, this serializable and clonable is some of the example of marker interface in Java programming language. So friends, I hope that you are able to understand all the features which we have discussed about interfaces in Java programming language. And friends, if you are still having any doubts, then you can write your queries in comment section.